Boeing is now under investigation by the FBI in connection to the certification and marketing of the 737 MAX plane. This after a 737 MAX 8 jet crashed in Ethiopia earlier this month, killing all 157 people on board. That is the second crash for that type of plane in less than 5 months, following a crash back in October in Indonesia. That crash killed 189 people. The Department of Justice is also getting involved, with prosecutors reportedly issuing multiple subpoenas as part of this investigation. Now, the Pentagon's Inspector General is launching an inquiry into Acting Defense Secretary Patrick Shanahan for alleged favoritism to Boeing, which is his former employer. A Senate panel is set to question the FAA officials and others beginning next week. Joining me right now is the Wall Street Journal's assistant page editor, James Freeman. James, great to see you this morning. Thanks so much for being here.
Good to be here. Thanks, Maria.
A lot of developments on this Boeing story. How do you see it?
Well, I think the best case for Boeing is going to be to say, look, we've had American pilots flying this plane for 2 years without incident. And in fact, the plane that the first crash overseas had had a similar problem, and the pilots had responded to it. So I think they're going to say that, you know, while the design was not good and we'll fix that, pilots did seem to be managing to essentially switch back to autopilot to solve the problem.
Now, after the Indonesia crash, we spoke with the CEO of Boeing, and he basically said, look, there was some issues around a development or a change, an upgrade in the plane that pilots needed to understand better. Has the information about the updates on this jet been communicated properly to the pilots?
Well, it seems like there was communication to the pilot, but then obviously in some of these recent crashes, you have pilots who weren't able to incorporate that or didn't respond well, and this includes people with a fair amount of experience in flying airplanes. So I think it's obviously it's going to be intense study, and now you have Congress as well as you said, the Justice Department looking at this, but. I think there's going to be a case for the Boeing to say, look, what we were trying to do was make an automated system that would make flying this plane feel just like the earlier plane, make pilots comfortable. Obviously should not have relied on one sensor to determine the angle of attack. But as I said, American pilots have been flying it without incident, and that's why the airlines in the U.S. initially did not ground them.
James, what about the Shanahan part of this? The Defense Department's Inspector General said yesterday it's investigating complaints now that the acting Defense Secretary, Patrick Shanahan, basically favored Boeing, promoting his former employee because he worked at Boeing. Where do you think this goes?
Yeah, it's hard to tell at this point whether this is sort of piling on or a general bureaucratic impulse to investigate all things Boeing. Obviously, Boeing has a dominant role in defense contracting, just as it does. Airbus and Boeing are basically the only real options if you're looking for jetliners. Similarly, for a lot of defense work, Boeing is the brand you want. So if the Mr. Shanahan was promoting a Boeing alternative, that doesn't necessarily mean it was favoritism. Might have been the best product.
Yeah, that's true, because this is where you're seeing the leadership and the market share of Boeing, and that's, by the way, across the world. You've got this Senate panel planning a hearing for March 27th on aviation safety after these two incidents. What are you expecting there? And this is obviously going to be a tough situation on a corporate level for Boeing. Are you expecting lawsuits? I mean, what do you think happens next in terms of Boeing?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tough go for them. I think they do. If you're thinking about the health of the business, as we said, they have a very strong franchise. And obviously, for all its faults, and they're rolling out software fixes, et cetera, this is a very popular airplane. Customers wanted this. Thousands on order, along with the hundreds that went into service that have now recently been grounded. But there is a huge demand in the market for Boeing, and I don't think there's necessarily an easy alternative if someone is thinking of going in another direction.
Were you surprised that the U.S. was among the last to basically say, OK, let's not fly, let's keep these planes grounded? You know, China was among the first, and China is one of the biggest customers.
Yeah, I'm sure that's part of the focus of these various inquiries. But I think from a U.S. perspective, if you're saying we want to be data-driven, and that's what the airlines in the U.S. are saying, they have had so far a good experience with the airplane. So I think probably the initial, speculating here, it's possible that the initial read was maybe in some of these overseas situations, the pilots did not have the training that our pilots have.
All right, we will leave it there. James, good to see you this morning. Thanks so much. James Freeman, The Wall Street Journal.